Hey guys, today I want to kind of do a little video about having more meaning in your life during this mess. And a lot of us have, taken a strong hit from this. A lot of you expats back in the States that are chomping at the bit to come over here, I understand it, you know what I mean? And I don't mean to take the wind out of your sails sometimes but I like to be factual in what I present to people. And as you know, people over here that have been vaccinated with the second dose, we're only, as of today, up to 0.02% have been vaccinated with the second dose, okay? With the first dose, it's only 1.4%. And I put this in another video also. So we got a long ways to go over here compared to the US and compared to most other countries. A long ways to go. And we don't even know if the shots that are given over here are as good as the ones that are given back in the States and stuff. They're more of the Chinese vaccines and stuff, and some are being donated from other countries. So we're going to start seeing a mix of these vaccines in here. Whether you're pro or against, I think we're going to have to reach a certain level before things start changing around here. And sadly, that's just the way the world is. But what I want to touch on today is because all of us have been sitting in our houses. Almost all of us, all throughout the world, have been sitting in our houses, rotting away. A few times over here, we've been able to get out. I've talked about this recently. And for me, I'm a person that just goes with the flow. I adapt. And you guys know that because we've talked about that. And sometimes it can be a hard thing to do when we're in a situation like this. And when you're in it for so long, after a while you kind of feel like giving up. But you can't give up. You can't. So for me, I put a lot more heart into my videos, and I put a lot more heart into my research, and I put a lot more heart into helping other people and to try to help people that are going through the same mess here, a lot of Filipinos and stuff. I try to help them financially. I try to help people, lift people out of this. And to see these people depressed sometimes, it's kind of hard on you. But, Filipinos are usually a happy people, and I see a lot of them, they're at their breaking point. They're at their breaking point. A lot of my friends that I talk to, I have a friend up in Manila, and I can tell she's at her breaking point too. She's very angry about the way things are going here in this country. And a lot of people all throughout the world feel that way, and no matter which country you're in, it doesn't have to be the Philippines. It could be any other country. And some countries are luckier that they're much further along in this. But at any moment, you could go backwards just like that. And we've all learned that here in the Philippines because now we're going backwards. And we're not even close to being vaccinated. We're just not even close to that, to be honest. I mean, with those percentages that I said, it's pathetic. It's really sad. I think we're probably one of the countries with the lowest vaccination rate in the world. I haven't looked at the other ones, but I'll bet you we're probably right up there with one of the lowest. I mean, we're almost at zero. Second dose, 0.02%. It's almost zero. So, I mean, that says a lot. I don't know what the United States is right now. I know it's a lot higher than that. I think you guys are really high up there on the ladder. And same thing with Canada and a lot of the Western countries. You guys are way up there. Now, what does that mean? Does it mean you're more protected? I don't know. You know what I mean? Nobody can answer those questions, really. Some people would say yes. Some people would say no. Some people said we could reach herd immunity really soon in some countries because so many people have had it or have been vaccinated. So between the two, you reach like that herd immunity. I'm not so sure that that's totally true, but that's what some people are saying out there. And but everybody wants to be a doctor today. Everybody wants to have their opinion about this thing. And I'm not either pro or against vaccines. I'm actually pro regular vaccines, but I'm not pro vaccine on this because I just don't feel comfortable with it. Okay? And I think a lot of people feel that way. It's not about conspiracy theories or anything like that. It's about the way this thing is put together, and a lot of people don't feel safe with that. And like I said, I'm basically pro-vaccine for the most part, because I see a lot of these developing countries and third world countries, they need these vaccines. They need these vaccines like polio. They need vaccines for hepatitis and things like that. They need those, and that's why I say I'm pro-vaccine, But anyhow, we really need to keep our hopes up and keep on keeping on here, because if we don't, guys, you can't give up. You can't. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't keep your happiness in your heart. Keep it in your heart. Because if you let that go, man, then you got nothing. I mean, for me, I'm trying to stay, happy, watching movies, listening to music, get out when I can get out, go on a vacation when I can get out. It is tough. And the toughest part over here is for the expats that are in the Philippines right now that are 65 and older that can't get out, can't go to the malls, and aren't allowed in the malls because they're 65 or older, because that's the rules in some places. And it's different all throughout the Philippines, but right around here where I live, it's 65 and older are not allowed into the malls. And 15 and under also. So the kids are suffering and the elderly are suffering. So it's really, really been tough on those people, most of all. And for them, man, I wouldn't want to be somebody over 65 right now. Being retired would be tough today in this country and in many other countries that have those same rules. I mean, fortunately for the U.S. is kind of coming out of this. They're opening up. Each state is different. We've stated that in another video, but I see people in the United States now, they have a little ray of hope. At least you guys, the expats, the newbie expats that are waiting back in the States, I'll say this. At least right now, you guys have your freedoms more so than we do. And think about that right now. And you should be planning and getting ready to come over here, even if it's a year or 2 years down the road. At least plan it. And there's also other alternatives, guys. You guys can go to Belize, or you go to a temporary place, or if you still have your vehicle, you could do the van life thing. I don't know what kind of car you drive or whatever. You could do that for a year or something. And maybe by then things will open up and you can come over here. There's alternatives, guys. There is alternatives. Or you can go on a trip and stay someplace really cheap. Stay in Mexico for a year. See how you like it down there. I don't want to tell people to give up on the Philippines. I think it's a great place to come retire. But, Mexico does have some great retirement spots. And it's not as unsafe as people make it out to be in some spots. Belize is a great spot. Costa Rica is a great place. Panama, Nicaragua. Check and see what their requirements are for getting into these countries. And maybe you can go there and stay for a while. And you can stay there and be retired there for a while before you come to the Philippines. And that's something to think about, guys. Open up to different opportunities. And don't just be stuck. A lot of you guys are so stuck on the Philippines. And I fully understand that because that's where your heart is. And a lot of you guys have girlfriends over here. But a lot of you guys aren't going to be able to come over here. So it's either, if you're already retired and you're in the States and you find it a little expensive, try to go someplace really cheap and try to live someplace really cheap, like maybe Guatemala. Some sections of Guatemala are very cheap and very, very safe, So, but make sure it's a safe place. And when you go over there, you can scope out cheap living. There's some really cheap places to stay in Guatemala, and you can live really reasonable there, probably on the same level as the Philippines. And the people there are really nice. Granted, they speak Spanish and stuff like that, but for the most part, you can negotiate and buy things there and, get good prices and stuff like that down there on rentals, on food and everything. But guys, check all this stuff out and stay happy, guys. Don't let this crap get you down. Stay up, have meaning in your life, because I'm seeing a lot of people online that are writing me emails and they're getting kind of disappointed in the way the world is getting and the way things are in the world and the way a lot of people can't travel places and stuff like that right now. And a lot of people keep asking me, when are they going to open? When are they going to open? Well, I mean, if we're only up to 0.02%, okay, on the second dose, I'd say we got a long ways to go. Now, what's going to happen, like if you're already vaccinated, can you come over here? It still means you can carry it, so I don't know. People keep asking me that. I don't know how to answer that. That's my honest answer. I mean, I could give you another answer, but I think the reality of it is nobody really has an answer to what's, right or wrong in this case. And frankly, over here, I mean, although I hear about the COVID-related deaths, I have yet to see anybody in my town that has died from COVID itself. Everybody that has died that I've heard about has been COVID-related deaths. Now, I know up in Manila there's been COVID deaths up there. But like I said, people have asked me, have I seen any? No. None. Zero. So, is that strange? I don't know. I mean, we're all locked in our house, so how are we gonna know? We haven't heard anything from any families around here that I know of anybody passing away from COVID. We've heard about people that have COVID, but they've showed none of the symptoms. So I don't know. I really don't, I don't know. But anyway, guys, stay well. Stay up, and you guys are all in my prayers for sure. I just want to say that. And I know today's video is probably not that much of a video, but I just want to get people to stay up, and really try to stay ahead of any depression or anything like that, and don't let that bite you in the butt, guys, because it'll beat you if you let it. Don't let it get you, because we got a ways to go in this, and it's going to be a battle to get to the end, and things are going to be changed at the end, and there's going to be a lot of changes. So until then, there's nothing we can really do. We can only talk about it, and that's it. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care.